and that's where the petrol bombs were coming over.
How many would have been standing out there at that
At
stage?
that stage, I think the cops had it at about 300.
Okay.
Well, we've come here today to the Short Strand to talk to people in the community, to offer them our solidarity. I mean, what's happened here since the 3rd of December has been a complete travesty of all justice. The people of this community, who are well used to being under attack, have come under sustained and deliberate attack from loyalist elements, the UVF and others in East Belfast. And so far as we can see, there has been no proper political response or leadership response from broad unionism. And that's certainly one of the messages that's come loud and clear from the people here in the Short Strand. They want to live in peace. They want to go about their business, raise their families. They're Belfast men and women. This is their city. This is a shared city. The days of unionist domination are gone and they're not coming back. And there's a job of work for everybody in terms of building Belfast and building all of the potential in this city, but it has to start with equality. And if anyone thinks that the women and men, that the young people of this community, who by the way have been tremendously disciplined over the last 6 weeks, if they imagine that they're going to wait and be told equality is for tomorrow, they're very wrong. That's what we need, and we need it today. So I think it's been a really useful experience for all of us to be here again in the Short Strand, talking to people on the ground. All of this violence has to stop, and people, and I think for me particularly older people, pensioners who have been targeted, need to be left in peace. And there's a big question, I think, for people within the loyalist and unionist community around the kind of mentality or worldview that allows their young people or anyone else to target pensioners in this sustained way. So it needs to stop. We were here to listen. We were here to get at first hand the experience over the last number of weeks, and a delegation will be coming down to the Dáil next week to make a presentation. I think it's so important that political representatives, people in leadership positions, hear the story from the citizens, hear the story from the people who live here in the Short Strand.
Pearse, cén sort role will realta this baile clear process?
Well, came around narrow role into Ledger a flag and I can realtas na fi she condai gaji shaw teskin grow anari grow yaktra as na she condai and chartan shaw gus grow enadi off again shaw sitra yar and ye morate reject Sinn Féin agus and brother Dirt Canada our party Jerry Adams lesh Eamon Gilmore gajiras and dale na gahi shishin heart and shaw kinda rodis towerty one mishes and torres na grow me gestart la dini yet he and dini vi golf Fridge and the Hensi at Tarlu na Balcha Saku and Canter Saku or Tihi Saku agus yet hain ovi tusnanalik on agus chin Veimart agus te rud into defrul leu twirish a horch o afiki the rinne agus a geistart ladini sees these in the shamra sitche agus a ganker ne bars yerin at the western the fonyaki a ganka exulish dar na darshe goal tree glason chintimuita yakadaris la na chini shaw Horace na at the petrol bombs chart trasna and the gati rahishin of Weimer and agus shilam goja into tower te Gmayim and Gilmore an talent shots to try yar gulu as fager.
You come from a constituency which had a long affinity with the north, and how has this been reported there, and what are your constituents telling you?
Well, I suppose most people are confused. They don't really understand how this has come about. I think a lot of the coverage of it has been lazy journalism. You're just getting a one-sided, one sort of view right across the media, and it's a very simplistic sort of two tribes, both communities against one community against the other, and the PSNI stuck in the middle. We're not getting any insight of what's actually happening to people in Short Strand. If you look at the mainstream media, there's been no one from the likes of the Short Strand or political representatives or local residents being interviewed in relation to it. But it's the simplistic thing, oh, this is reactive violence and one side is reacting against the other. And quite clearly what we've seen today, we've listened to people that tell their story. And this is a problem that's ongoing. It's about sectarians, about sectarian ideology that's clearly enmeshed in society. And we need to be breaking down barriers in relation to it. We need people to be working together to create a space where people can live normal lives, and that's what the peace process is about. It's about moving on people's, people recognising their identity. But there's been no attempt really to cover this story.
And finally, Niall O'Donnell, just how important it is to the people of Short Strand to see, like say Jerry, Martin, our comrades TDs coming in to offer their support?
Well, it's been a great lift, and to be honest, I suppose ultimately it's a pity we have to do it because nobody wants this in the first instance. We want to be displaying the positivity of the Short Strand, the things about the Short Strand community that make it unique and make it great. This was brought to our doors, unfortunately. This was brought to our doors by people who are opposed to the peace process, people who seemingly are opposed to democracy and the democratic decision that was taken by Belfast City Council to move forward the equality agenda, but also, as Sean rightly acknowledged, that underlying element of sectarianism and loyalist triumphalism. That is the reality of the last 6 weeks for the community in the Short Strand, if not the reality certainly for the last 100 years. But what we're about is trying to get the message out. That's why we had Jerry Adams, Martin McGuinness, Pearse, Mary Lou and Sean here today to cut through that media spin, to cut through that narrative that this is about two sides, tit for tat, one side's as bad as the other. That's not the case. This is a small, isolated community that has come through enough. And Pearse was right. I have listened to Tommy and Kathleen's story these past couple of days, bringing people in, and it's no less powerful every time you hear it. Those people want to live in peace, as does the rest of this community, and the key thing is they deserve to live in peace. So this is about exercising whatever political influence we can right across Ireland. I was very disappointed that Eamon Gilmore was north yesterday and didn't take the time to come into this community and hear those stories firsthand. But that won't deter us. As I said to you at the beginning of the week, we're about moving forward. We're about trying to get through this. We're about trying to work through it, and I have every confidence in the ability of Sinn Féin to provide leadership in that regard, but I have every confidence in the people in the Short Strand.
And finally, Friday afternoon, most people wind down looking forward to the weekend, bit of crack. Not the case in Short Strand?
No, obviously we're facing, this will be the 17th and 18th illegal procession to come past the Short Strand. We have put measures in place with local residents in terms of providing fire extinguishers, providing emergency contact telephone numbers. We will have people on the ground tomorrow afternoon once again, and we have also made it very, very clear to the PSNI what this community expects from them, what this community needs to see from them, and what they have to do to ensure that the law-abiding citizens of the Short Strand are protected and we don't see the kind of loyalist incursion allowed to happen that we saw last week. So it's about tonight, it's about tomorrow, it's about making sure people are left in peace, people are able to get on with their lives. But yes, the underlying mood among homes in the Short Strand is one of uncertainty and one of fear.